Get it out. Flames keep it in. Bedard, long attempt at the empty net. Bedard, hat trick scores. And the Hats will hit the ice at the United Center. Second career hat trick for Connor Bedard.
Connor Bedard just delivered a moment that shook the entire arena, and the impact hit the Calgary Flames harder than anything they were prepared for. Every shift he took pulled the game further away from them, and the tension inside their locker room kept rising. What happened next pushed the team into an even deeper problem, and the part no one expected is only just starting to surface.
Now, and Cheryl, we've got Celebrini and Bedard. These kids clearly want to make Team Canada's roster after they both had hat tricks last night. Craig Button said, give them a jersey, give them a nameplate, make them part of Team Canada.
Connor Bedard produced his second NHL hat trick in a 5-2 win over the Calgary Flames at United Center. Chicago extended its point streak to 6 games, moving to a 10-5-4 record. Bedard recorded 22 points in his past 11 games, with 11 goals and 11 assists. He also wore the alternate captain's A for the first time. His scoring run continued with a goal in the second period, another early in the third, and an empty net finish with 41 seconds left. The Flames continued a difficult stretch. The team fell to 5-13-3 and picked up only 1 win in its last 6 games. Calgary allowed goals in key moments and lost control of the pace. Flames defenseman Rasmus Andersson said, "Pretty bad game by us, honestly. First 2 periods weren't good enough." He added that the team played bad, even though they entered the third period tied. The Blackhawks took a 1-0 lead on a deflection goal by Ryan Donato. Bedard then pushed Chicago ahead 2-0 with a one-handed move between Dustin Wolf's pads after chasing a long puck from Sam Rinzel. Calgary cut into the lead late in the second when Coronado scored on the power play from a quick pass by Nazem Kadri. Early in the third, Anderson tied the game on a shot over Arvid Soderblom's glove. Chicago responded less than 2 minutes later. Bedard scored again on a wrist shot from the right circle after a cross-ice pass from Ryan Green. Oliver Moore extended the lead on a 2-on-1 with Frank Nazar, and Bedard sealed the game on the empty net. Inside Chicago's locker room, players highlighted consistency. Donato said, "You've got to be on every night. It's an everyday league." Bedard said the team remained determined even after mistakes, adding, "We're just really determined. We have a lot of fun together. We love each other, and we want to play for each other." Chicago's win added pressure on Calgary's season. The Flames entered the game with only 1 win in their last stretch of contests. The team allowed early chances, gave up long zone entries, and lost key puck battles. Flames coach Ryan Huska said, "I don't think it was a very good game before that or after that." He added that the team's penalty kill did well and the power play scored, but other parts of the game did not match the standard the team expected. Bedard's performance placed him on a short list in franchise history. He became the 4th player in team history to record more than 1 hat trick before turning 21. The others were Alex DeBrincat, Jeremy Roenick, and Bobby Hull. His scoring pace increased during Chicago's point streak. His earlier hat trick came against the Senators. His 2 game-winning goals this season both came in games when he recorded a hat trick. Chicago continued to build chemistry with its young group. Oliver Moore scored and added an assist. Ryan Green recorded a key pass on Bedard's second goal. Frank Nazar helped create the 2-on-1 that pushed the lead higher. The team's control of the pace increased late in the third period. When Calgary pulled its goalie, Chicago used a strong defensive shift to clear the puck. Bedard scored from distance into the empty net and completed the hat trick. Calgary moved forward with another roster change. The team claimed forward John Beecher off waivers from Boston. The move added another depth option as the team worked through a difficult start to the season.
McDavid hits the line with speed. McLeod over to Jack. Thompson a steal. Fires and scores. 5-1 Buffalo, and that'll put it away. Tage Thompson, an empty netter.
Something cracked inside the Edmonton Oilers after their latest collapse, and the shift was visible before anyone walked out of the arena. The energy faded fast. The bench went tense, and then Connor McDavid stepped forward with words that cut straight into the team's deeper problems. His message hit harder than the score itself, and the reaction around the room hints at something that has not surfaced yet.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to roll.
The spotlight on the Edmonton Oilers grew stronger after their 5-1 loss in Buffalo. The team allowed 5 goals, including 2 from Noah Ostlund, who scored his second and third NHL goals. Buffalo's fourth line produced early pressure, and rookie Colton Ellis stopped 32 of 33 shots. These numbers showed how fast the game slipped away from Edmonton once Buffalo gained control. The Oilers were behind in high-danger chances by a wide margin. Buffalo led that count 14-5. Edmonton's forwards outside the top line created only 10 shots on goal. The defense produced 16 more, but the Sabres pushed back each time. The Oilers' only goal came from Jack Roslovic on a one-timer. The team could not find steady offense at 5-on-5, and this problem repeated throughout the night. Vasily Podkolzin explained the team's situation after the game. He said, "We'd better figure out how to win games as soon as possible, because we're not happy with what's going on right now." His second comment described the Sabres' performance. He said, "They played simple. They scored their goals. So there's not much to say." These statements match the team's struggles on the ice and the overall pace Buffalo used to control the game. Head coach Chris Knoblauch placed Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the same line during the game. Both players ranked near the top of the league in average ice time among forwards with more than 2 games played. Depth players were used. This showed how heavily the team relied on its top centers when dealing with pressure. Buffalo continued to control the pace through the second period. Bowen Byram scored the game-winning goal after steady pressure in the Edmonton zone. Sabres.com confirmed that Buffalo earned points in 8 of their last 9 home games, and their recent momentum carried through every shift. The Oilers could not match that speed. After Roslovic tied the game, Buffalo responded with 2 goals in 62 seconds. This sequence changed the entire direction of the night. Chris Knoblauch spoke about this stretch afterward. He said the team lost confidence or emotion after Buffalo's power play goal late in the first period. He explained that Buffalo played with that emotion, that speed, and were the better team in the second half of the game. The Oilers struggled to regain control, and their defensive structure broke down during long shifts in their own end. Knoblauch said he was not seeing a pattern, which showed that the team's issues did not follow one simple trend. They appeared in different ways each night. Edmonton entered the game with a 9-8-4 record. Their road record stood at 4-7-2. And they held only 4 regulation wins in their first 21 games. These numbers reflected the issues that continued to surface throughout the early portion of the season. The loss in Buffalo added to a long run of trouble for the team in that building. This pattern created another challenge before the puck even dropped. Connor McDavid's reaction gained attention because the team needed direction after another difficult night. His earlier comments, noted in recent coverage, referred to the Oilers being flat and needing more emotion. These remarks match the issues seen against the Sabres. The team struggled to keep pace, lost battles around the net, and gave up key plays in their defensive zone. His past statements connected directly to the team's current situation. As the night ended, the Oilers prepared for their next game in Washington. The team traveled with questions still surrounding their defense, scoring depth, and energy level. The facts from this loss shaped the pressure they faced heading into their next matchup.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to roll.
Connor McDavid drops a bombshell on Coach Knoblauch, and the shock in that room was instant. Reporters called it a truth bomb, and the room shifted fast, which set the tone for everything that came next. That
Beating
message
themselves up and not playing very well. So there are a lot of not looking like a very cohesive team right now, just not playing very well, and that's on the coaching staff, mostly myself, to get that
came
aligned.
Next. That message didn't appear out of nowhere. The Oilers had been stuck in a stretch where they went 4-4-2 in their last 10 games, and Knoblauch had already said, "We're not playing our best hockey." That quote came on November 2nd. It added weight to the new comments because it showed the coach had been pushing the team for weeks, and now his pressure had reached the captain. That built even more curiosity around how this moment would change their dynamic. Knoblauch also said something important after the November 5th shootout loss to Dallas. He stated, "Leon and Connor were two of our better players. We just need to get more out of everyone." That line made it clear he saw the top stars carrying too much of the load. When his new message on November 11th surfaced, people wondered if his patience with the whole team had run out, or if he was now turning that pressure tighter onto McDavid himself. This shift created more questions about how the captain would receive the target placed on him. The timing carried even more weight because McDavid had made a strong statement months earlier. After the Oilers lost the Stanley Cup final in June 2025, he said, "We kept expletive, trying the same thing over and over again, banging our heads against the wall." That quote showed he already had issues with how the team operated. So when Knoblauch fired his new message at him in November, it added a layer of tension that didn't feel new, raising curiosity about what was brewing inside the team long before this night. The Oilers have not won the Stanley Cup since 1990, and each season brings more pressure. When a coach and captain exchange sharp comments only months apart, the spotlight gets even brighter. With Knoblauch calling out the team and McDavid voicing his frustrations earlier in the year, this November moment felt like something bigger starting to crack open, leaving many wondering how far this tension would grow next. The reaction inside the team did not slow down after that night. Reporters said the coach's message toward McDavid was direct enough to make players look around the room. Some felt the comment pointed at leadership, others felt it pointed at effort. But no matter how it was read, the message placed new weight on McDavid right after the win. That made people wonder what the next move inside the locker room would be. The next part of the story connected back to Knoblauch's earlier pressure on the roster, when he said, "We're not playing our best hockey." It sounded like the coach wanted stronger direction from the top. This created a new curiosity. Was Knoblauch now expecting McDavid to carry more than his play, or was he pushing him because the team had stalled? McDavid's past comments from June 2025 also sat in the background of this moment. His words after the Stanley Cup final, "We kept expletive, trying the same thing over and over again," pointed to problems he saw in the system. So when Knoblauch fired his new message months later, it almost looked like both sides were responding to the same long-running issue. The Oilers' long Stanley Cup drought made the whole situation heavier. Every year the team gets closer or falls short. The demand for results grows. When both the captain and the coach deliver sharp comments within months of each other, it adds more stress to a group already squeezing for answers. That pressure creates more curiosity about how the Oilers will hold together as the season continues, and whether the tension between McDavid and Knoblauch will push the team forward or pull it apart next.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to roll.
Something just shook the Edmonton Oilers locker room. After a crushing 9-1 loss, Connor McDavid stood up and called out his own team. He didn't dodge, he didn't sugarcoat. He said the Oilers were flat, no energy, no emotion. Coming from the captain, that means something. What he said next set the tone for the rest of the season. The Edmonton Oilers are under pressure. They've played 16 games this season, and their record stands at 6 wins, 6 losses, and 4 overtime losses. That's not what fans or the team expected. And after getting blown out 9-1 by the Colorado Avalanche, something had to be said. Connor McDavid said it.
Early on, obviously, we found an issue to bring some of that emotion, some of that energy to the game. That's not fighting. That's not anything. It's just bringing that energy, skating, a little bit more physical.
In his post-game comments, McDavid told reporters, "It's been flat. That starts with me as a leader. There's maybe not been enough energy, not enough emotion, and we have to find a way to bring some of that into the game." This wasn't just about one game. McDavid spoke about the team's attitude over several games. He said, "We all have a hand in bringing just a little bit more, emotionally, physically, and just to our game as a whole." McDavid has 22 points this season, 5 goals, and 17 assists, but he's also -6 at even strength. That shows even the best players on the team are getting outscored when they're on the ice. The loss to Colorado was Edmonton's worst home defeat since 2009. The Avalanche scored goal after goal, and the Oilers didn't have an answer. The team was down 4-0 after the first period, and it only got worse from there. This wasn't just a bad night. It was a wake-up call. The Oilers were supposed to be cup contenders again. They reached the Stanley Cup final 2 seasons in a row, but right now, their play doesn't match that level. Over the last 10 games, their record is 4 wins, 3 losses, and 3 overtime losses. That's not terrible, but it's not what a contending team expects. Now, with McDavid calling for more effort and emotion, the whole organization is on alert. The message is clear. Things have to change now. McDavid's message wasn't just frustration, it was a warning. And it wasn't only for the players, it reached the coaching staff and front office too. When a captain speaks like this after a blowout loss, it signals a bigger problem inside the team. Coach Chris Knoblauch now faces pressure to respond. Line changes, goalie decisions, and defensive structure are all under review. The Oilers can't afford to let this slide. Their next games are critical. McDavid said, "We have to find a way to bring more." That starts immediately. McDavid's call for emotion matters. Hockey isn't just about skill. It's about fight. The Oilers haven't shown enough of it. They've looked flat, not just in one game, but over several. That's why his comments hit so hard. This also affects the fans. The Oilers have one of the most passionate fan bases in the NHL, a 9-1 home loss sting. And when your best player says the team isn't bringing enough, fans expect action. Behind the scenes, the organization must decide how to fix this. Trades, call-ups, system changes, it's not clear yet. But McDavid just put everyone on notice. He didn't blame others. He included himself, but he didn't stay quiet. His leadership now demands results. Not someday, but now. Edmonton's next games will say a lot. If they come out with speed, energy, and purpose, this could be the turning point. If not, bigger changes could follow. For now, one fact stands out. The Oilers captain just spoke louder than ever, and now the entire hockey world is watching how they answer.
It's against our standards, and I thought we played with some pretty high standards today, and again, saying that, it doesn't guarantee a victory. It doesn't mean it's perfect. But I felt our intentions were there. We were organized in our 5-on-5 play, and it was a good game. I thought we stayed patient. It's unfortunate we don't get the 2 point, but a lot of positive.
Martin St. Louis made a shocking announcement to the Montreal Canadiens on November 8, 2025. The goaltending controversy exploded 24 hours earlier when Jacob Dobes cried after losing. His veteran Samuel Montembeault ranked second worst in the NHL statistically. St. Louis canceled practice immediately. He called Dobes into his office. The decision he revealed would alter everything. Dobes stopped 24 of 28 shots in the 4-3 overtime defeat. His record dropped to 6-0-1. The loss came when Jesper Bratt scored 93 seconds into overtime with a backhand shot through the 5-hole. Dobes took full responsibility for the team's first overtime loss of the season. "We played good enough to win, just not good enough from my side," Dobes told reporters after the game. "I don't know, just really hard. This is a tough one. Just sucks. It happened last year. It happened this year. Lose to those guys in OT. So just disappointed in myself. That's pretty much it." The emotional display shocked media members present. NHL.com reporter Mike Morial witnessed the scene firsthand. "Don't know if I've ever seen this before, but MTL rookie goalie Jacob Dobes, who entered this game 6-0-0, was literally in tears, blaming himself for the Canadiens' loss." Morial posted on social media, "We, the media, tried to console him, telling him to keep his head up. Kid is putting so much pressure on himself." Martin St. Louis addressed the situation during his press conference. "Everybody handles situations differently, and he took it hard," St. Louis said. "It's probably a big reason why he's at this level. He's probably demanding of himself. We'll talk to Dobes. He's played really well for us." Teammates rushed to defend their goaltender. Defenseman Noah Dobson spoke with reporters after the game. Dobson said, "But it just shows the character and passion in this room. Everyone holds themselves to a high standard and wants to do what they can to help the team win. But we know in the room he's been a backbone for us this year, so there's no need for him to do that and put it on himself." This situation placed St. Louis in a difficult position regarding his goaltending rotation. Samuel Montembeault, the presumed starting goaltender, has struggled severely this season. The 28-year-old carries a 2-3 record with a 3.82 goals against average and .842 save percentage through 5 games. St. Louis maintained confidence in his struggling veteran. "If you ask me if I'm worried, no, I'm not worried," St. Louis said. The coach continued defending Montembeault's ability. "I didn't have a single idea in mind. We have two good goaltenders, St. Louis added. Dobes is definitely having a good streak, but Monty is going to have streaks like that too. We're well equipped in front of the net. Dobes maintains elite statistics despite his first loss. He ranks third in the NHL with a 2.25 goals against average. His .920 save percentage places him fourth among all goaltenders. The Czech netminder has started 6 of Montreal's last 8 games. Montembeault acknowledged his struggles publicly. I know what I can do, and I've worked a lot the last 4 years to grow my game, Montembeault said. Obviously not the best start so far, but we're going to keep working to get to where we were at. The